It's a bit like we get, what do you call, ensnared in things, We get trapped in them and we can't kind of get out of them. And the idea is that through being aware and through observing, then we can become aware of our mind traps, the things which we get caught in. And these play a role in your level of stress and how you react to stress. And if we're able to observe them over a period of time, then we begin to see that we have our own special set of habits, mental habits, and physical habits too, but we're working with the mind at the moment. And if you keep working with this idea, then you'll begin to be able to recognize them, which is the purpose of what we're trying to do. And in the beginning, we usually only begin to recognize them once we're in them, Like if you're an angry person, then you're not aware of the trigger for the anger. You're only aware of the anger that's resulted, And so the idea of practicing like this is that with time and practice, what does practice mean? You see, these are all competitive ways of looking at the thing. Anyone else? Practice means to repeat. It doesn't mean to get better or worse or how I'm doing at this. It just means to repeat. It means to do it over and over again, regardless of those kind of thoughts. These are judgmental. These are like based on trying to get somewhere. We're not trying to get anywhere apart from actually sit in our seat and just simply be here. Okay, that's it. There's no other agenda, there's no, I want to get better at this. It will happen if you repeat the process over and over again with awareness, it will happen. So this, even people like on the spiritual path, instead of just trying to meditate and be where they are and sit and practice, they get this idea that, there's this boomy or level of like enlightened mind that I've got to be able to achieve, sometimes because of the way people thought about their meditation, they applied these same ideas of achievement to it, Whereas in fact, the only thing to be achieved is just to be here. And if you can be here for short periods of time, and you get used to that, then you can be here for slightly longer, you know. So for instance, when we're doing the exercise with the body, you're here. You're not trying to be here, you're just here. Because your mind is focused on doing these things. And so you're right here, right now, in your body, right at this moment, with your breath, which is the thing that keeps you alive, you know. That's what you're trying to do. That's it. You can do it for this long. That's good news. You know. If you can do it for that long and be aware that you're doing it, that's good news. Because next. Do you see what I'm saying? You can develop this, but you're not trying to get anywhere. You're still in the same place doing the same thing. And as your awareness develops, you know, I'll bet you've had moments in your life where you've been watching someone and you just go, I can just see what's coming. You know, like if you're a family member or somebody, you just go, here it comes. And sure enough, and you just go, well, you can do that with what's happening inside your own head. You can, if you keep working with this, you'll be able to see it coming. Oh, here it comes. This is the thing that distracts me. Here it comes. Yeah. Oh, look, there it is. And if you keep working with it, then you'll be able to, the psychologists call it decentering. You'll be able to hang back and watch it with total amazement, because through doing this resting in the present, you've stopped the involvement in all of this. And so the process of the practice is you're going to try to sit here, but because of your mind's habits, you're going to find a thought really attractive, and you're going to go, I like that one, I'm off. You know? And then a minute or two later you go, I'm supposed to be meditating. But the minute that happens is when you're back here. You've come back. So it's not something to be critical about. You should go, oh wow, I'm back. Let's do it again. Then of course, what happens? You know, you're drawn to something that happens in your body, something you hear outside, a smell, you know, or a nice piece of music that someone's put on, you know. And off you go. The best one is if you're sitting in a room and you're trying to do this, and two people are speaking just outside the door, you know. Your ears, you know, you know, towards the door, you know, you're nearly breaking your neck, you know, like this, you know. So all this stuff is going on, you know, and then you go, oh no, I'm supposed to be meditating. The good news is that you were aware that you'd started to follow your thoughts. That's the good news. You became aware of it, and then you brought yourself back here. And the more you do that, the less, what do you say, tightness there will be. There's going to be tightness. You know, we our life every day, there's tension there. We need some kind of tension to get us up in the morning, some kind of, you know, like I have to be at work at 8 or whenever it is, you know. So there's pressure. for you to fulfill certain obligations or whatever. Whether you're a housewife or mother, or there's pressure in one way or another. And so you have to recognize there's good stuff and bad stuff. Or you can't say bad, but stuff that affects you in a depleting way, tires you out, So thinking is a very tiring thing. Trying to think your way out of things is really tiring. Whereas if you can just sit down and pay attention to the breath, then something begins to happen. So you call it peace or stillness or all of those adjectives, but I just call it not think so much. It seems to me to be a bit easier than, describing. Then, of course, you start thinking, and then off you go. And so that's the process of the practice. There isn't any other one. Okay? So you're moving between being here and now and following your thoughts. And the minute you realize, I've been following my thoughts, is the minute that you're back here. And so you move back to focusing on whatever it is that you're using to help. So that's the part where you're in the middle of it and you realize, As you practice, the thought will come and you'll catch yourself trying to move with the thought, you see, or the emotion or the feeling. And then eventually they'll just be able to come. And it'll be like watching Coronation Street or something. Must be something better than that. But you'll just be observing them, So that's the process. And and then we'll begin to see how we talk to ourselves. That wasn't good enough. I'm an idiot. I can't do this properly. Here's one. I don't like myself. What's not to like? There isn't a self. So what's the problem? You see? I've got to get this right. So this is what I was talking about, like self-governance earlier on, about like how we relate to ourselves, Because of the competitive nature of the westernized world, and then we're always in competition, even with ourselves, But you just imagine what would happen, right, if your best friend came up to you and said, you're an idiot. You're completely worthless. You never get anything right. Is any of this going to change? How do you think you would react to your friend? Wouldn't be a friend for long, would they? Do you understand what I'm saying? So why do it to yourself? Eh? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. This is really important to understand. You wouldn't do it to your dog. Do you understand? Yeah. What do you want to do all that stuff to yourself for? You wouldn't hang out with that kind of person, would you? So, that's something to think about. Catastrophizing, we talked about that earlier. The doom scenario, can it get any worse? Will it? Oh yeah, sure. Even looking at improvements in our behavior, for instance, but still not satisfied because I'm still making mistakes. I don't know anybody that doesn't. I make them. I have to pay for them too, believe it or not, but it's true. And you imagine what everybody else is thinking about you, Well, I mean, if you're around a yogi, that's definitely possible, but if you're not, I wouldn't worry about it. And we're going to make mistakes. The only way you can free yourself from that, and free yourself from mistaken ideas and stuff, is just to go, yeah, I do it. I make mistakes. And when you make one, just go, yeah, it was me. You're done with it then. You're not sort of spending the rest of the week trying to conceal it or something,